21 demands, January 18, 1915, claims made by the Japanese government to special privileges in China during World War I. The major European powers, which already enjoyed similar privileges in China, could not oppose Japan's move because of their involvement in the war. So if you understand that, this is where they get their idea of 5 demands. You notice it's always 5 demands, or else. Just read up on this, because this is where the Chinese were really screwed over. Was in 1915, and all the Europeans were in on this. Listen to this. Group 1 was 4 demands, confirmed Japan's recent seizure of German ports and operations. Group 2 were 7 demands, pertained to the South Manchuria Railway Zone in southern Group 3 was 2 demands. Group 4 was 1 demand, and Group 5 was 7 demands, was the most aggressive. China was to hire Japanese advisors who could take effective control of China's finance and police. Japan would be... Anyway, you have to look at the 21 demands. And I just watched a CNN report, and they said that the Chinese thing started in 1937. Are you fucking kidding me? This 21 demands was 1915. And then it started to talk about the Treaty of Versailles, despite the refusal of the Chinese delegation to sign the treaty. So this is another case. I watched a movie last night called A Touch of Zen, made in Taiwan from 1971. Yeah, the Chinese fight amongst each other. But the problem with that is just like what happened in Poland, where the kings are fighting with the popes all the time, that it becomes very, very, because they love to fight among themselves, then they become some sort of easy target for outside enemies and this kind of overreach, or this kind of bullying. 13 demands, 5 demands, and of course when they make these ultimatums, right, it means that you do them all or else. So I got a few demands. And you should just look up the 21 demands if you want to know history. For Canadians in Ottawa, now that we've got them under our thumb, as they should be. Okay, part of this is from a criminal lawyer friend. Okay, forced treatment centers with bars on them, not out until they're clean. That's where some of this money could go. A fair evaluation of the cost of living, a lash for sex crimes, death penalty, extradite anyone who commits indictable offenses, tax banks and insurance companies at higher rates, no funding to CBC media with our tax dollars, set a domestic price for oil, control credit card interest rates and set lower maximums. Here's mine. The TV standards to promote non-shocking sounds and sights. They're too loud, everything's got to crash. And they actually hypnotize people. It's too loud and too obnoxious. Reparations from TV commercials like I am Canadian. I want reparations because I am a Canadian. I was born here, and I wasn't like those people with the toques in the commercials, okay? We're not toque wearing. No foreign developers, unless, look at what they did to Vancouver. Look at the research what Harry Rankin did with COPE, and how they rigged the election to Gordon Campbell. And that Expo 86 is the start of the model of the whole North America. It's called The Rankin File. It was a documentary that happened they found old footage. And it's just like, the documentary called Alone in the Wilderness, where by some miracle, 30 years later, they put together something. So have your own demands. Now that we've got them under the thumb, how about placing some demands? I like this. Forced treatment centers with bars on them, and they cannot come out until they're clean. This is suggestions from a criminal defense lawyer. The death penalty. A lash for sex crimes, because you know what? You see, it's repeat problems. Okay? How about some demands of our own? 21 demands. And get your history right, CNN. It started in 1915. These demands, this is where the big problem came. You don't force people like that. You don't put people under the gun for your own interests. You're going to get it. You are going to get it. That's called the mark of Cain. Read about what happens to anyone who hurts Cain. I'm not saying China is Cain, but I mean, I would not fool around. I would not fool around with anything in this life. You better have respect. You better have respect for everyone. You do never underestimate anyone. Otherwise, you should just put yourself naked in a room with a badger. I'd like to see you underestimate a badger in a room with you naked. Or even a squirrel. You will not win. You will not win.